All right, welcome back. Now, it won't be too long. At least that's not the plan as of right now. Things can change. But I wanted to sort of switch gears and deal with something else on this live stream. Over the past two live streams, I've talked about how dog lovers in general, they really hate dogs. They operate as if they hate dogs far more than they love them. Or to put it another way, they function, they operate. They say actions speak louder than words. So when it comes to dog culture, dog lovers, I look at what you're doing. You can talk about fur babies and love all you want. I'm going to look at your actions and I'm going to judge you based on your actions. And when you look at the actions of dog lovers, it's backwards. It can be proven to be abnormal behavior that is counterproductive, and it's a display of insanity. Anytime you operate in the world against your own personal best interest, against the best interest of your family, against the best interest of your community, and ultimately, when you consciously and you operate against the best interest of your entire species, you have a mental illness. What we're dealing with in the United States and across the world when it comes to nuttery is the installing of a mental illness into the general population with the goal of making more money, dealing with it, dealing with the outcomes. It's time to crank up the attacks so that we can crank up the number of people charged, hospital bills, injuries, a whole lot of things, whole lot of money gets generated via dog attacks. Well, I was looking at the news earlier and I ran across this article that surfaced a few days ago, 3 days ago. And I laughed. You see the title, Government Issues Bizarre Tips to Avoid Dog Bites. How about that? And the citizens react. A government advisory suggesting people, look at that, pretend to be a tree to avoid dog bites has sparked widespread ridicule. Now, this is a media outlet out of India. To a good extent, on and off, I give up on India because it seemed like too much of their population have accepted that they've been forced to live in a subhuman condition. But that's not, I don't think that's true. We still got some riders over there. There's still some people alive over there. I thought they were all dead. Widespread ridicule. Critics argue that it oversimplifies the issue and fails to address the complexities of dog behavior. They're talking about this idea of becoming a tree. Calls for more, what is that? Calls for more realistic prevention methods, better stray dog management, highlight the need for comprehensive strategies, collaborative efforts between government, dog groups, and communities are urged to tackle the root cause of dog attacks and ensure the safety of both humans and animals. Now you can see they are still on the fence. They are still semi-pushing nutter ideals and trains of thoughts. But this tells me that they've taken one step closer to reality by doing what? Dealing with reality. Now, I don't know if we had or if we played any part in this article and in, what was said between the people there. I don't know. But this is the narrative that we have. Your stupid, goofy, unproven methods to reduce or prevent dog attacks are cartoonish. And if what we have been saying for years had anything to do with what was said here, my pleasure. You don't even have to think. You're welcome. Take any of our ideas anytime you want. More people around the world need to call this out, because this advice could be what keeps your family safe or killed. This is important information when you're talking about preventing a dog attack. These are lethal attacks. So if you're going to give the general public advice on how to prevent them, it better be rock solid. It better be accurate. If it's unrealistic and cartoonish, you deserve backlash. You deserve your stripes snatched. Your credibility should go down the toilet. So I have to applaud everybody involved in the rejection of this foolishness over there in India. Now, the department, where is this? Where is this? Hansbadri? Where is that? I don't know. I think it's India, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all help me out. Let me know exactly what I'm pretty sure it's out of Times of India. Check this out. Oh, yes. Do y'all know this was actually a post? And the post got so much backlash, they deleted it. See that? The now deleted post suggested people assume the position of a rock. Look at that. And they posted this on Twitter. That's a new one, isn't it? We've heard be a tree. I think I have heard being a rock, become a rock. I think I've heard that. Pretty much the same thing. But when you become a rock, understand that involves getting down on the ground. They're telling people to get down on the ground, ball up, cover, I think it's your neck you're supposed to cover with your hands. And people are like, no. No. They still got enough sense to know that that is foolish. Look at this. This unconventional advice has been met with disbelief and ridicule. Good. As it should. As it should. You know, I have a strong feeling that some of these people were influenced by the dog culture critics found online. I have a strong feeling of this. But I really don't care if it's not. I'm glad people are waking up. Look at this. With many people questioning the practicality and effectiveness of such a measure. Now, longtime followers know I've shown video footage of people trying this, people doing this to avoid a dog attack. And it doesn't work. They get attacked anyways. Dog attacks have been a growing concern in urban areas. Numerous cases reported, blah, blah, blah. Look at this. Look at this. The need for effective measures to prevent these attacks is undeniable. However, the department's recommendation has left citizens baffled. Go ahead, India. Y'all still got life inside of you. Go ahead. The advice to stand still, avoid eye contact, bring it, let's go. Talk about it. Come on. I don't care where y'all got this from, dear people of India, but there you go. Now you talking. The advice to stand still, avoid eye contact, and essentially mimic a tree seems out of touch with the reality of a dog attack scenario, where quick thinking and action are often required. You don't say. You don't say. This is what I've been online talking about day after day after day. So I have to appreciate reading this. No matter how, meaningful it is, I'm wired to appreciate reading this. What have we been saying? That it's nonsense. Ridiculous. Are you out of your mind? What are you talking about? Are you really dumb enough to stand still when a dog is coming at you, about to attack you? Are you sane? Can't make this up. Look at this. The backlash was swift. Thank you, people of India, with dog behavior experts, dog trainers, and the general public voicing their concerns. How about that? I'd like to know what the animal behavior experts had to say. Critics argue that because they're the ones who put this out. Critics argue that the advice oversimplifies the complex nature of dog behavior and fails to provide a comprehensive strategy for dealing with dog aggression. Thank you. Thank you. People, now we talking like we got some sense. We're taking our brains back. Let's go. I'm sick of seeing people drop the ball. We're not put on this earth to be dumb. The suggestion also seems to ignore the fact that not all dogs will be deterred by someone standing still. Let's go, India. Let's go. Give it to them. Serve them. And in some cases, it may even provoke further aggression. The consensus is clear. The department's guidance is seen as inadequate and potentially dangerous. People are calling for more realistic and scientifically backed methods. Oh, we got plenty of those. We got plenty of realistic and scientifically backed methods to put an end and prevent dog attacks. Just check with the police departments around this country. They got it on film. Right? Pew, pew. Bang, bang. What are y'all talking about? To be shared with the public emphasizing the importance of understanding dog body language and behavior as key to preventing bites. Now, this is also not true. I understand. See, this is the part where they let me down. They were doing good until they went here, and I understand why they went here. Because the world is terrified of talking like us. The world is terrified of the truth, which is these things should be gotten rid of. They have no place in society. As long as they're here, they will always launch unprovoked attacks. People, no matter what, no amount of training or nothing. This is a part of their nature to launch unprovoked attacks and to be bullies, to attack just for pleasure. Dog behavior proves that. The controversy has also highlighted the broader issue of stray dog management. Activists point out the root cause of the problem is the failure to implement effective dog. No, I'm going to skip all of it. I'm not even going to cover this. That's a lie. Shut up. Here come the nuttery. See, now they're starting to talk like nutters. Has nothing to do with dog control. Well, let me take that back. It does have something to do with dog control management. Because a full, all-out culling is dog control management. Let me not forget that. Shout out to Hugh Hefner from Twitter, who always, that's his punchline. Destroy all pit bulls and their derivatives. Isn't that right? I know many of you follow Hugh Hefner on Twitter. All pit bulls, destroy all pit bulls and all of their derivatives. But that is the solution for dog attacks, period. Because not that many. I don't think there's any stray pit bulls over there in India. The solution is a complete culling, people. How many households have demonstrated that even if you show maximum love to dogs, they'll still attack you? Most dog attacks here in the States take place where? Inside of the home. And inside the home, they treat the dog better than they do their own toddlers. And that's where attacks usually come from. What does that mean? They're not receptive to love. And we can't coexist with dogs peacefully. So I don't want to hear that. Don't talk to me about dog management and having these, failed cullings, spay and neuter programs. Look at this. They also suggested education on proper training and getting them socialized. How you going to do that with stray dogs? And what are you talking about, socialize them? Are y'all saying that those dogs over there are not used to people? They're living in y'all's community. India is very populated. Dogs over there see people all the time. They've seen more people than dogs in their worthless life. Don't start talking this Western nutter talk. Until y'all get online, get on board with what we're saying, you're going to sound crazy, and flat out, your solution's not going to work. What you're suggesting has already been tried many areas. And in all the areas where they've tried this nonsense, dog attacks are higher now. They've tried it in India a number of times. They have already carried out those stupid spay and neuter and all these halfway cullings, and it has all failed. So, I want to give a half-hearted applause to Times of India. Looks like a step forward, but kind of, you kind of, spat on the progress by referring to this other nuttery as the real solution. Listen, if we're not dealing with the truth, I'm not with it. That, simple as that. Y'all know what else surfaced? Something else that surfaced. They gave an update on a dog attack victim. A boy. A few media outlets covered it. This is the Mirror. Boy who was a 7-year-old boy who was scalped in a dog attack. Zick. The dog immediately went for the scalp and started to scalp the boy, attacked him. And the father, I want to address the father. But do y'all know what happened? Do y'all remember the details of this story? And again, this article just surfaced a few hours ago, if I'm not mistaken, right? May 19th, just yesterday. Do y'all remember the details of this attack? Well, I'm going to remind you. He was inside of the home when this attack happened. The victim was inside the home when this attack happened. Do you know what he was doing? He was sitting still. Sitting still. And do you know they actually included that? They literally wrote that out. Look at this. The dog suddenly pounced on Vic while he was sitting. What? While he was what? On the stairs? Still like a rock? Still like a tree? Here we got a description of, an attempt to be a tree. We can't even get this clear of a description in dog attack reports where they say the dog's ear was pulled before the attack, tail was pulled before the attack. You never see behavior that provoked the attack, even written in articles. You certainly don't see it in the video footage. How about that? He was already a rock. Dog pounced on him anyways. Tried to get the dog off. The dog continued the attack. And it's the father. I may have already gotten into the father's gotten in on his case, but I don't remember doing it. And I may not have. I do think this is breaking news. I don't think they shared this part of the story originally. Okay? Now, this took place a year ago. And I know y'all remember this because him sitting there smiling, that's going to burn in your memory. But the father bought this dog off Facebook while it was look at it. They got a picture of it. Here's the father with the dog he got off Facebook. Look at that. Really? You just went out and acquired a large bully breed off Facebook, didn't even raise it yourself, and you brought it home to your family? Really? You got a large family. Look at how dangerous look at how dangerous the father is to his family to do something like this. This is why people need to wake up. People need to wake up. Simple as that. For safety reasons. I don't care how much of a dog lover you are. For safety reasons, it shouldn't have happened. But like true nutters, they're still talking crazy. He's a forklift driver. The father is a forklift driver. They're saying he's recovering. They say the boy is still afraid of large dogs. Still afraid of large dogs. A year later, they refer to it as unfortunate. See, right here. But he's still scared of dogs. As soon as he sees one, he hides. Yeah. But they're still not opponents of dog ownership. Instead, they want to see strict rules on selling dogs on social media. Listen to that. Really? They want an official, moderated, and regulated website where people can sell them, but with rules. I don't want anybody to go through what we went through. There should be a website where it's easier for people to find dogs from approved sellers, or at least genuine sellers. How about don't get a dog as a pet? How about that? How about at least don't get a large dog as a pet? How about that? They never get around to saying that. It's all about, a better way to shop for them. At the end of the day, you take the chance, no matter who you're getting the dog from, breeder, a shelter, wherever. You have to trust that mutt in its deranged brain. And let me tell you something. With the track record that dogs have, the reputation that they have, that they put on display every single day of the week, you're a dangerous person if you go out and acquire one of these things talking about keeping it as a pet. You're very misinformed, uninformed, ignorant. You know, to be ignorant is dangerous. And that sums up these people. They become dangerous for their own family. That's what dog love does with you. That's nuttery for you. The father is a dog lover. Almost got his son killed. Could have got some of his other family members killed. You become a horrible person when you become a dog lover because you start endangering people. Suddenly, overnight, your neighbor's in danger. Your family in danger. Your stupid behind is in danger too. But I guess you're just too dumb and full of parasites. You're too brainwashed by 101 Dalmatians. How do y'all jokers get to be in your 50s and you still just as much of an ignorant nutter as you were when you was 12? How's that possible? That you aren't even slightly more cautious as an adult. You've not even grown to question the safety of having these things, not even a little bit. Still just as much of a nutter as you was back then. That's a serious problem. Humans, I don't believe, are designed to function like that. I've talked to people who've taken pride in thinking the same way they did when they were a teenager right now in their late 40s and 50s. Take pride in it. Really can't make this up. Now, they're acting as if he has a mental disorder. They claim to have a cat now instead of a dog. But I'm telling you, they're putting pressure on him. They're around nuttery every day. In order to survive this, you have to be a dog culture critic in order to be safe. I was watching a broadcast earlier today too, where this lady, she seemed surprised about the fact that she now has to take a gun with her when she goes to check her mail. And a police officer actually had to give her a lecture and explain to her, yes, this is the type of world we live in. Get you a gun, and when you go out to check your mail, take it with you. And if the dog gives you problems, you're within your right to shoot. A cop had to tell her that. She didn't even know. But she understands that that's what needs to be done. Shout out to all the content creators. Been putting out a lot of really good content. Of course, K-Nun has been spazzing out as always, putting out a lot of it's class. His K-Nun's channel is straight up class. And I want y'all to listen to a few things here. I got 3 timestamps for you. Listen to this.
In point of fact, every time these vulgar apologists state that it was due to lack of training, what they're saying is that humans left that dog alone and allowed it to behave as a dog naturally does. By their own words, humans are the ones who should be stepping in to correct the dog. But why not let dogs be dogs?
Isn't that right, dog lovers? Isn't that true? Y'all always talking about how training is the solution. Training is the solution. Well, what are you saying by saying that? You're saying that the thing is naturally despicable and dangerous, naturally evil and deadly. So you're saying a lot more about how dangerous it is by saying that it needs to be trained to not be deadly. I mean, listen to you. Again, you can sit back and let them build the case against dog culture. You really don't even have to chime in.
Numerous times before, you basically have to train a dog to not be a dog in order to make it somewhat more tolerable. A dog in its natural default state is simply incompatible with civil human society. If you let the dog be what it is absent human influence, it will be a loose cannon. But to be clear, training and socialization is not magic. Rather than a loose cannon, you will have a tame tiger. Meaning the dog retains all of its instincts and remains dangerous. It is still dangerous in nature, and just like not keeping a wild wolf or a chimpanzee as a pet, it is a good idea to avoid close contact with it just on principle. I don't want to hear about how dogs are domesticated. All dogs retain the instincts of their wild progenitors, and even with a lot of training, those instincts are always there, just under the surface. Dogs have such a strong tendency to revert back to their bestial and anarchic nature. In fact, that it is well known in pro-dog circles that an untrained dog inside a shop can undo a professionally trained service dog's training in seconds.
You hear that? Oh, I know y'all don't like to hear this type of stuff, but these are the facts. There is no saving dogs. Dog lovers seem to think that there's always a solution. They seem to think, oh, there's definitely a way that we can coexist peacefully with dogs. No, there's not. Like I said, you don't even have to deal with how violent and deadly they are. You can get rid of them. You can make a rock solid argument to ban them without dealing with dog attacks at all. Okay? I mean, it's not even that deep. If you deal with the health hazard, like the infections, you can just deal with one, like parasites. The parasite infections is too much. You can deal with the bacteria alone. Remember, capnocytosis, that's a bacteria. Sepsis, that comes from a bacteria. Just the bacterial threat alone, not even including the parasites, the viruses. Dogs are next level trash. Next level abomination. And their presence makes us look bad. I said years ago, the way we embrace the existence of dogs regresses us so much that I believe more intelligent life forms would understand that we were primitive based on how we live and exist and embrace dogs. That's all they need to see is a nutter kissing a dog. Be like, oh, these people need another 2-3 million years before they evolve to our level. I mean, what do you, on the intergalactic level, how do you think we rank among other intelligent life forms if you are one with dogs? Okay, and when you're dealing with dogs, they're a lot worse than natural predators. Because they're mutants, they have mutated aggression levels, extremely unstable. That's why they always need to be drugged up. It's immoral to embrace the existence of these things. Simple as that. Shout out to everybody able to once again join me. I believe dog culture critics have influence. I strongly suspect that this dust up with Kristi Noem had something to do with their desire to respond to the growing criticism against dog culture. Criticism against dog culture is growing. It's not declining. It's not declining. You're going to have to deal with us eventually. Listen, I keep up with everything that's said on a daily basis out here in the world. This was just created a few days ago. Just on a regular everyday forum, I keep up with people and what people talking about. Look at what they wrote. I hate having a dog. I told you, y'all's hate for dogs and dislike for dogs. I'm going to try my best to make it more well known because it's serious, it's noteworthy. I mean, you hate having a dog, but you have one anyway. So it's propaganda. You're running on nothing but propaganda. The moment where the dog does not agitate you is irrelevant. It's irrelevant because it's not supposed to. It's just a flipping pet. You don't get to say it's a good pet. But the fact that it has its moments where it annoys you to the point where you're saying this, you're writing something like this is not man's best friend. Why do y'all have more forums and posts and articles saying stuff like this than you have when it comes to positive stuff? It's all fairy tale. It's not even realistic. Dodo videos, the same goofy nonsense. It's not even real. This type of stuff right here, this is real, straight from the heart. It's passionate and they're reaching out. Everybody reading it knows it. Oh, they finally cracked. Even dog lovers, they know. Like, oh, somebody's finally cracked and are allowing their dogs to annoy them. Nuttery is dangerous because they look at being annoyed and disappointed. They look at disliking dogs as an evil inside themselves that's taken over. Once they get over that con, it is a wrap. And people getting over it right now. Right? So shout out to everybody able to join me. And I hope you can join me on the next as we continue with this crusade.